Paul and Amy coming to you tonight. More so for our entertainment than I think yours. But a big shout out to our DVC fan Patreon community. We are doing this live stream Q&A to kind of just chat with you guys while we pack some envelopes.
Yeah, so we're going to be sending out our, oh my goodness, I can't find the right camera angle. Right. DVC fan founding member photos. They're actually drawings that were hand-drawn by Disney animator Jason Zucker. It did take him a little while. He had a lot more than we had expected, so they came a little bit later. But we are going to be packaging them, getting them out to our founding members in the tiers that qualify for this, and we have a stack here, so it's going to be a lot of work for us. We decided to live stream during it because, you know, we could take some questions. If we don't have many questions, we're just going to talk about
ramble about life. Give you words of wisdom about our lives and all of that kind of fun stuff. Elaine, we already have a riveting chat going with most of our DVC fan Facebook group moderators. Elaine is upset that we're actually a couple minutes late. I think we were maybe about 4 seconds late by my watch. So,
for the record, Elaine has no room to speak on the topic of punctuality.
Oh, shots fired, Elaine.
We love you.
But yeah, we're here to essentially kind of pack up our DVC fan founding member gifts. So these were the gifts that we offered to any of the initial people that joined our DVC fan Patreon. Patreon.com/DVC fan. If you do want to join us there, unfortunately, you can no longer get this lovely drawing. But our first, I think we had about 75 early adopters in that community that joined our bronze level and above tier. And so they have been anxiously awaiting these drawings. And finally, we have them after the holiday rush and everything like that. Again, thank you to Jason Zucker for putting these together. I think they turned out better than you or I.
They're adorable. Yeah. And I don't know, because they're all hand-drawn by him. And they all look the same. Like, it's perfect. Like, he makes them perfect. We put a little note in it, and we each signed the note, and my hand was going to fall off just doing that. So I don't know how he drew all these.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through the stack of my signing at the moment. So, but yeah, that's kind of why we're here tonight. This will probably go up to all of our DVC fan YouTube watchers at some point. So if you are watching this maybe a couple weeks later, thanks for joining us. We're a couple weeks in the past at this point with packaging these and putting them together, but hopefully we don't completely bore you. We'll talk a little bit Disney Vacation Club. We do have a question or two, I think, from some of the people in our Patreon community that weren't able to join us tonight, but did have a question. We'll talk a little bit, I think, about what we've got going on this year. It is the new year, so we do have a lot of plans on the horizon and plans still being made that I don't know what those are going to turn into, but
oh, geez.
We'll wait and see. But, what do you want to talk about?
I'm going to start putting these in here, and I'm going to sit them right here. Okay. In there, and you can put that in there.
Sure.
But I do want to start with a question that we had. I'm going to go back into Patreon and find it really quickly. Just a general DVC question from one of our Patreon members. This was from Louis, and he couldn't be here to watch because it's 2 a.m. where he lives right now. Is it 2 a.m. in the UK? Is that? I'll have to look and see where we're sending this one. But anyway. As a new DVC member, it's been a long day. This is probably out there, but he says he has 2 memberships. If he has 2 memberships, one direct and one resale, both with the same use year, can he transfer points between the two for a reservation? And if so, is it limited to a 7-month reservation? So, when you are buying multiple contracts that have the same use year, regardless of direct or non-direct, if it is the same use year and it is deeded exactly the same. So, for example, Paul and I have a couple of contracts in a February use year. We deeded them exactly the same to Paul G. Krieger, Krieger, and they fall in the same membership. So when they fall in the same membership, you do not have to do any kind of transferring. They are very easy to use together. If they are the same resort, you can use them at the 11-month window together. If they are different resorts, then you can use them at the 7-month window together, keeping in mind any kind of restrictions. So, for example, if you have a resale Riviera and a direct, Grand Floridian or even resale Grand Floridian, you can't use those together because that resale Riviera can only be used at Riviera. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, yes, you can easily use them together in that same membership without having to transfer. If you have contracts that are the same use year, but you title them separately, so let's say that Paul and I have some in the same use year, and then I have one that's just with my name on it in the same use year, that will actually go to a different membership. And the same thing if you buy a different use year, regardless of how you title it. And when you have a different membership, that does require a transfer to use points together. It's kind of a pain. I don't recommend it unless you really just want to deal with that. But that was very wordy. Hopefully that answered that
You confused
question.
me and lost me in the process, so.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Oh, you got a real close face shot there. So a couple questions that came in while Amy was talking about, I don't even know what the question was at that point. Corey said, wait, Paul, where did this shirt come from? So I found this shirt online. I got served a wonderful ad after this weekend's half of a half marathon. For Walt Disney World Marathon weekend that Amy and I ran. So it says, I ran the 2024 7.1 half marathon. Okay, this is the part we can't figure out.
Yeah, someone please tell me.
69 256.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I took every unit of measurement I could find because I figured it was a fraction. So I thought maybe they're just laughing. It's like through, 1/5 of the race or whatever because they cut the course. But I took every unit of measurement thinking, okay, then the first number has to represent 7.1 and the second number has to represent the 13.1. There is no unit of measurement, meters, kilometers. There was units of measurement I've never even heard of before. None of them matched. So if you know what that number means, what is the number again?
It's beyond us. I don't know. 69 256.
69 out of 256 with the TH on the end. Like it's a fraction.
Not it. So yeah, thanks Corey for that question. Dennis O'Brien said, my new Moonlight Magic DVC fan shirt has been ordered too. We did put up a couple new designs for Moonlight Magic this past week. That is over on our TeePublic page, where our merch store lives. If you go to dvcfan.com and click on the Support Us section, you'll see our merch store there, and you can browse all of our DVC Fan merch designs. But we've got one that says Moonlight Magic, and it has all of the dates for the 2024 Moonlight Magics listed there. We also created a special design exclusive for the Epcot Moonlight Magics coming up.
That one's cool.
That we actually just posted today. For whenever you're watching this, but those just went up. So, and if you have any ideas of future merch you'd like to see, or future designs you'd like to see, or you're great at designing merch, let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll bring you on board to help us design some things. But Dennis, thanks so much for your support in ordering a T-shirt. Jean said, "Will you be at the Moonlight Madness on 125?" At Epcot, yes, we will. We have a room that night, I think at Old Key West.
Saratoga.
I was way off.
We originally had to book Vero Beach.
We did.
Because that was all that was available. And I was just like, whatever, it qualifies. And we're just going to waste that room, which is sad. I hate wasting points. But then a wait list came through. But unfortunately, because of that wait list, we are going to lose 2 points this year, which we have never done in our entire DVC history.
We lost points.
We are going to lose 2 points.
We do have a couple wait lists still, like hoping.
That they expire this month. So the odds of that happening, we're going to lose those 2 points. So that's sad. That's painful.
So we will, though, be at Epcot Moonlight Magic on 125. Panda is actually going to join us that night as well. And we're going to have a fun time. Obviously, we'll bring you all along for the ride and share with you what the 2024 edition of Moonlight Magic has in store. Any hopes or expectations compared to last year?
So Epcot's probably one of my favorites for multiple reasons. First, The fireworks look good no matter where you're at around the World Showcase, and I love that they do fireworks there because Animal Kingdom doesn't have fireworks. And it's different than like Hollywood Studios. We get to see Fantasmic again, which was cool, but the Epcot firework Moonlight Magic show is special for Moonlight Magic. So
It is special for Moonlight Magic, and if you've ever seen the ending of the 4th of July fireworks at Epcot, it kind of is a little bit like that at the end. It's pretty intense.
not
and,
quite as intense, but still cool
it's
for
still
a free event. And the second reason that I like Epcot the best for Moonlight Magic, and hopefully still true, is that the snack coupons that you get are good to use at the food booth. So you have a lot better options than being stuck to just a couple quick service restaurants, weird snack options. I know we talked about this during that the show that's going to go up on Monday, but for example, if you're at Hollywood Studios using your snack coupons, your options are basically like French fry, a side of fries, a cutie orange, a bowl of beans at ABC Commissary. So at Epcot, it's just much better options because a lot of the food booths participate. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So a lot of those, whatever is going on, whether it's Festival of the Arts or Flower and Garden, whatever's going on during that one, you can use that. You can use your food for that. And I like Epcot. I like the rides at Epcot. It's it's my favorite park. So excited about that.
Oh wait, Brian Chung, or Liquid Ice, coming in here. 69,256 is 0.26, which is roughly how long the 7.1 length was of a marathon.
For the record, is that a question? Because there's a question mark at the end of that. so I don't know if he's feeding us factual information or asking us.
I mean, his name is Liquid Ice, so judge it based off of that. So, it's 69,256 of a marathon. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe instead of a half marathon.
That's the best. That's the best reasoning that I've heard of so far for
I
the
guess.
show. So thanks, Liquid Ice.
We think.
We think.
Oh yeah, Elaine says it is. I guess.
That's math that I don't want to do this late in the evening. Corey's just randomly saying I was a graphic designer for 10 plus years. Okay. Hired, Corey. Start designing away. Send us those designs. Elaine also, same. One of my college degrees is in graphic design. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Elaine is a graphic design person.
Brian said, I'm going to lose 1 point at the end of March unless a wait list comes through for my end of February.
So we're going to join the Point Loser Club.
So welcome to the Point Loser Club. We'll give out awards at the end of the year for the worst point losses. I'll tell you, folks.
2 is not bad.
2 is not bad in my line of work. I have heard of people
lose
losing thousands of points. Or people telling me that their points year after year have just gone away. And it is very painful when you hear that, because you realize not only what those points are worth, but
are you sealing them?
I am sealing.
Okay, you have a new job.
Why do I have a new job?
When you seal them, just take a quick look and make sure that they're in there. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure I'm doing a good job.
Did you forget one?
No, I don't think so. But you know how you get talking and you just question things?
All right. Well, we apologize in advance if you get a empty envelope full of sadness.
You should not. I mean, I don't think.
Just an empty envelope with a letter that says, "Hey, here's your wonderful print," but it's not there.
Yeah, let us know.
Figment escaped.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think I've been doing pretty good.
Speaking of Figment, again, this is just going to be a lot of rambling. But speaking of Figment, did everyone see the popcorn bucket for this year's Festival of the Arts, which is basically it's the DVC Lounge, but it's the Imagination Pavilion, and they put Figment inside of it, but I feel like they should have done like a full mock-up of the DVC Lounge inside. And we've joked with some friends about the fact that we should buy it and then rip the inside out and then kind of mock up the DVC member lounge in the bottom of it and then put it back together. So I will never probably do that, but it sounds like a cool idea.
Nom Nom Cookies is the best use of a snack coupon. Yes, that is probably true at Hollywood Studios.
That is true.
We didn't make it over there. That was a failure on our part.
Let's see. What else do we got? Why wouldn't they just rent them? I know a guy. Don't know. They called the guy. They called the guy too late, and the guy was like, "Oh no." That's exactly how that conversation went down.
Do you got more of these envelopes?
Jeff said, "I need that bucket. I want everything at the Figment booth. Everything." Isn't all of that like
I haven't even looked at.
rainbowish?
I haven't looked at the
I've not looked at the
food menus
at
at
the
all.
food menus. We'll have to do another like food menu breakdown with Phil and Pauline.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Do
It took us
you
like
have
2 hours.
Do you have more of these?
They're in a box right over there. So, Elaine, arts and crafts with the Kriegers. This is essentially what arts and crafts. With the
This is
Kriegers.
about the extent of our skills, though.
It's about the
when it comes to
about the extent of our arts and crafting.
Will you move this one out of the way?
Oh yes. Sorry. I will move these over here. Corey said, "Whose office are you in?" This is our neighbor's office.
This is Paul's office. Mine is much further away because when we bought our house and I looked at the blueprints, I was like, Paul's office is going to be right here, and then over here is going to be mine, so that we had some space, so that we could have meetings and stuff and not hear each other.
Yeah, we still do.
That's because Paul leaves his door open and talks loud.
You leave your door open as well. We're both guilty of it. Because our dogs come and go freely between our rooms.
You can't close your door because our dogs get sad.
Then they'll whine, and then they'll start barking, and so...
The
plan was great.
But yes, this is Paul's office. He does have a lot more Disney decor in his than I do. Actually, what's funny is, so this... it's hard to point out when you're looking at a backwards camera. That picture was something that Paul really wanted to capture. It's the moment of Happily Ever After towards the end where the castle looks like stained glass windows and all the heroes and stuff are on it, and then the fireworks all shoot out. And it's really hard to get a picture of it yourself, especially with people and everyone else's phones getting photos and things like that. And we had reached out to a couple of Disney photographers, not Disney official,
professional
photographers that go in the parks and take pictures, which there are numerous ones on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and they take really amazing shots. And so I had gotten in touch with one, and I had asked, can you get this shot for me? I would pay. And he basically said it was near impossible. He said, I've tried to get that shot multiple times. It's very difficult with the crowds, and you know what I mean? It's very hard to get that shot. So we just gave up on it. And during the pandemic, Disney put photos into annual pass holders' photo pass as like, we're sorry you're not in the parks, have these cool photos. And that was one of them. So it was really cool. It was like the shot we've been looking for like a couple years. Yep. And Disney just handed it to us. And so we had it printed from like Shutterfly or something on canvas. And so anyway, I just thought that was an interesting story, that apparently that's a really hard shot to get, but obviously Disney themselves can get it.
Disney can get it.
Anyway, Paul's office, to answer that question.
That was a long answer to that.
I have a lot more maps in my office. I like maps.
You have a very expensive map in your office.
I do. I love maps.
Put in the comments, how much would you pay for a map?
Okay, for a record, it's a pushpin map. And
so a map that you stab.
And just because of that, I'm going to put a picture of it in the comments of this chat so that it's visible. Oh, I don't think so. Is that not a thing?
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, YouTube, get with it. Anyway, I have a very cool map in my office, and it's a pushpin map, and it's very large, and it's like, I like the colors, and it says Amy and Paul's like travels on it, and anyway, Paul thinks it's expensive, but I don't.
Ryan said, during the pandemic, my wife's friend just decided not to use her points at all. Not sure how many she owns, but she let them all go to waste for 2 to 3 years. We told her to rent them.
Oh,
hopefully she rented them, because that's sad.
But
that that was that was kind of the story of the pandemic there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and people were scrambling and trying to figure out what to do, and DVC did extend some of the usage of some points, but I think you had to like call and ask, and then one of the big things was they were telling people to roll them into RCI, which gave them an additional 2 years, and that was better than nothing, right? It was better than getting zero value. I mean, you could get, a hotel somewhere, even if it was, who knows? I mean, I don't know, but that's sad. I hate hearing about people losing, their points just expiring and they don't get any value out of it because they paid for them, they paid annual dues on them that year. But
keep those questions coming in the comments. I'm going to change the topic real quick. What kind of exciting things do we have going on this year? What are you most excited for in our DVC and other?
Okay. So I'm gonna start with and other because I think it's the first one coming up. Well, we have Moonlight Magic coming up. I'm excited for that. But this is not Disney, and it's very hyped up right now. But we are going on Icon of the Seas in April, and it just pulled into Miami yesterday, right? For the first time.
That is correct. Icon of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, for those that don't necessarily follow cruising.
It is huge. It is the biggest cruise ship in the world, and as of right now. And we are becoming avid cruisers. We do love Disney Cruise Line, but we also love Royal Caribbean, and
we love saving money too.
that is true. And I'm so excited. Like every time I see pictures and videos and things of the Icon, it looks amazing. And we've never been on an Oasis class ship yet. We do have one booked later in this year or on our Mediterranean cruise on the Oasis, but so this will be like big for us. This will be the biggest, you know what I mean? Well, it would have been the biggest anyway, but it will still be.
It's not Oasis class either.
It's not Oasis class. It's its own class. It's bigger than Oasis class, but just the biggest ship we've been on is what? The Independence? Oh, the Quantum. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So. I'm just so excited about it, and I don't even care about the itinerary. Like I'm excited about it. It's Western, which is fine. We've never done that before, but I'm just so excited for the ship. So that's my biggest one right now.
I am equally excited about Icon of the Seas. Before that, I'm leaving Amy at home, and I'm actually going on Allure of the Seas with our friend David for 3 nights, and we're going to do a little bro cruise. So that will be my first Oasis class ship experience. All told, I have 5 Royal Caribbean cruises this year.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I do not. I only have 3. So
Amy has 3. I have 5. So.
Jeff Haslam said Bermuda ? Or not ? Exclamation marks. I am very excited about that. So we're going to Bermuda on the Liberty of the Seas out of New York City in August.
New York City.
And Jeff Haslam is going with us and his lovely girlfriend Amy. We are Amy squared. So we're excited about that. And then we've got a Mediterranean cruise. And we've never been to Europe before. So any advice that you have for us is probably going to be helpful.
I still can't take Ryan seriously with this screen name. Liquid Ice said, going to be cruising on the NCL Prima soon, but the reviews look awesome. They have go-karts on the ship. That ship does look pretty cool, and the go-karts look pretty sweet. So here's the thing with us is that we are kind of all in with Royal Caribbean now for multiple reasons. For affordability, we love the ships. We loved all of our experiences on the ship so far. We've just overall really enjoyed cruising with Royal. The other reason is their
loyalty
program, which if you kind of go all in with one loyalty program or another, you're going to get to status quicker with them. And so that's kind of our goal, is we want to get to diamond status with Royal Caribbean as quickly as possible. Because once you get to diamond status, this isn't like Disney Cruise Line where it's like, oh, you get to book 2 days earlier. and that's your only benefit. With Royal Caribbean Diamond status, it'll actually get you, is it 4 drink coupons a day?
Yeah, per person.
Per person. So you'll get 4.
I think it's more. Is it 4 or 6? I can't remember.
I think 6 is Diamond Plus.
Okay, maybe that's it. So 4 a day. That's a lot. I can't drink 4 drinks a day.
That's
But
a
like you
lot.
would get that whole thing. So if you're going on 7 nights, you get. I'm not good with math.
That's a lot of drinks.
You would get a lot. But yeah. So and then also there's a Diamond Lounge that has hors d'oeuvres and drinks in the evenings and cocktail hour. But we just really want to get some kind of loyalty status, and then you can transfer it over to Celebrity, which is also owned by Royal Caribbean, and you would have status with Celebrity. So we want to try other cruise lines. We want to try Norwegian, but first we want to get to that Diamond status.
Amy keeps mapping out like how many points we need and how many years out we are and all of this kind of fun stuff. And I believe it's the only reason you're letting me go on
Yeah, that is true. Yes, because we will be Emerald by the end of this year. We'll be Emerald by the end of this year, and that is the step before Diamond.
David just got another offer for a Christmas cruise in 2024. So just throwing that out there.
Over Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Nuts.
Sorry, David. I missed some things. Somebody asked us, I thought it was Corey, if we were buying more poly points.
Corey did ask that question. It's right here in front of me.
Oh.
Look at that. Boom. You going to buy more poly points?
No.
Amy says no.
I think we have as many points as we need right now, and also don't need. And I was interested in the cabins. The whole dog thing changed our minds, which is fine because we don't need to be taking our dogs probably to Disney anyway. But we also don't need to be buying any more points. I'm still not opposed to selling one of our small contracts, but I don't know. I like how many points we have right now.
So here's my thing. I was actually looking at this today because we're looking at this past weekend. We did Marathon Weekend, and we actually did a 2-bedroom villa with our friends Jeff and Dan. And it was the best experience because, one, it was actually cheaper than if we got separate studios. So it was cheaper in points overall.
Well, to be fair, it was cheaper to have a 2-bedroom at Saratoga than to have our separate studios at Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
So that's the comparison. So there's a little different comparison there. But still, I love Saratoga, and I love being there for the race.
I love a 2-bedroom.
I love a 2-bedroom. Oh my goodness. My favorite thing was just lounging in the living room on the little pull down bed, even though I know they have
single pull down bed, not the Murphy.
The single pull down. But just having a kitchen, having a full refrigerator for our, like the Powerades and things that we had for the race. Just having much larger bathroom spaces. And I like the dedicated. That's kind of my favorite over the lock off. But yeah, it was really nice having a 2-bedroom. So if we're thinking about that for other races.
So when I was looking at our points today, that's kind of our point problem, is that the more we want to potentially do that for race weekends, which we are very interested in Run Disney now, we are planning on maybe doing springtime 10-miler. That's still probably not. We get off the Icon of the Seas on Saturday. We would have to drive, pick up our bibs, and then Sunday do the 10-miler, Springtime Surprise 10-miler. That's probably not going to happen, but it's potential that it might. We booked the Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend in a 2-bedroom at Kidani Village with our points. And we'll split the points between us and Jeff and Dan, and we kind of just play back and forth on who's booking. But when you look at our contracts, and I was like going through scenarios, because a month from today actually is when the booking window opens for Marathon Weekend 2025. So when I was looking through our points today, for Marathon Weekend, we really get stuck because we have a couple 50-point contracts. Mm-hmm. And our use year is February, which means that we're at the end of our use year where we've used them all.
Kind of a pain.
So if we want to book a 2-bedroom at Grand Floridian or at Boardwalk, we typically would need to potentially borrow points from our next use year to do so. So it limits our options there. And I
Mhm.
think for me, that kind of makes me want to sell a contract even more and potentially
Get something you
buy
already
a
have.
larger contract, or
Yeah.
like maybe do, like, could I sell 50 at Boardwalk and get, 125 at Saratoga or something like that. Obviously that math does not equate. I would pay more for that, but you understand, like, that's kind of the mindset that we're in at this point, because that just makes more sense for us. But yeah, I when I was looking at our points, I was like, oh, we've used a lot of points. Now we're also like trying to save some points too. We're saving some points back that are our poly points right now, for hopefully the opening of the tower in 20. We don't know when that's going to fall. I think it's actually going to push to 2025 at this point. But again, it's a question of, if it pushes to 2025 and it's in January, then we need to still have some points like sitting back waiting for that,
Yeah.
because of when our use year is. So that's kind of, so Corey, I would say no to more poly points, but I would say yes to potentially some more points in the not too distant future.
With 2 bedrooms that aren't really expensive on points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not Grand Floridian, Poly, Riviera. Something like Old Key West, Saratoga. I feel like we have a decent amount of Animal Kingdom points.
When I did the math for Marathon Weekend 2025, it was actually more expensive in a 2-bedroom at Grand Floridian than it was at Riviera, which shocked me. I thought Riviera would still be
Sometimes
more
Grand
expensive,
Floridian it
but
can be very expensive.
Grand Floridian-
Yeah. Yeah, no. And if Boardwalk or Beach Club, those would be good options, but I wouldn't buy more points there because of the expiration date right now.
Yeah.
So
I
it's probably gonna be like Saratoga.
part of me just doesn't want to own a 20.
Yeah, I have 3 of these
2042
left
at the moment,
and
so.
no more envelopes.
I have more books.
Oh, okay. Well, I need 3. So Jay Ware, I think it's Josh. Is it Joshua? Joshua Ware asked or said that the washer and dryer is a game changer. That's something else I didn't even say. Having that washer and dryer after the race.
Yep.
Yes, especially because it rained and we, our friends had wet clothes, and so it was amazing. So we're finding that we really like that, and we want to try to do the full marathon in 2025.
Not want to try. We are doing.
We are going to sign up for the full. Whether we survive or not is another ball game.
We'll
But so I just having that big soaking tub, and there's just so many reasons why we don't want to just do a studio for those.
Yeah, our buddy Dan actually volunteers for medical for these races, and so he works basically the finish line, and he is there making sure that as people cross the finish line, they're okay, they're not looking kind of weird or anything like that. And he's been doing it for many years, but anyone that ran this year's 2024 Marathon Weekend would know that the half marathon, there was a lot of rain. There was also a lot of rain on Marathon Day. That was unexpected, and so he got a little bit wet. So that washer and dryer came in clutch for sure. Prior to Josh's comment, Vocal Jazz Fan wants to take you back to your teaching days. What do you miss most about teaching, and any favorite stories?
Oh my
teaching?
god!
I have a favorite story from Amy's teaching.
From me?
Just from your experiences of being in the school system.
Oh, I need to know. No, I can't even think. So I taught for 11 years in West Virginia public schools. I taught 7th grade English for 10 of those years. My last year was during the pandemic. I just wanted to change. I wanted to get away from like standardized testing and stuff. And I was actually the head of my department too. I was the head of the 7th grade team, and I was the English content coordinator person. But I just wanted, during the pandemic, I was like, I want to change. So when the media job opened, which was like a media technology job, I applied for that and I got it. And so I taught media my last year, which I absolutely loved. If I was still there, that's what I would be doing. I'd be teaching the media. But I actually taught in the same classroom. I taught English in the same classroom that I student taught in. So I was there a while. It felt like a long time.
That's not the most West Virginia thing.
No, I mean, I got hired by that school because they, I student taught there, and hopefully they thought I did a good job. But honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to really sit and think about it because I've been out of the classroom for almost 3 years now. So I'd have to really sit and think. The other day, I was actually thinking, this is the first school year that I wouldn't know any of the students anymore at Bridge Street Middle School because they go for 3 years and I've been out for that long. So that's kind of weird to think about because I used to at least know some of the kids there still. But I don't know. I'd have to really think. What's your story?
My favorite story from you being a teacher is during the epic saga of the Geese versus Bridge
Oh
Street
my
Middle School.
goodness, yeah.
And Amy would come home and she would tell me, so their school was down by
A creek,
a creek, whatever you
Creek,
call
it was a
it,
creek.
wherever you're from. A creek's a creek.
Big Wheeling Creek.
Big Wheeling Creek was the creek, and it ran alongside of the school, and the local geese population decided to all just live right here next to the school.
We had an entire herd of geese. We had a really nice playground that the kids played on, a lot of grass, basketball hoops, stuff like that, and there was just geese crap all the time. It was just infiltrated with geese. And so our school and our resource officer went through lots of measures to try to get rid of the geese. First, the resource officer, his name was Don. He was a really great guy, and he said, I read somewhere that they have to land in water and then walk up. So they built this giant fence around the creek so that they couldn't land and then walk up. Well, that didn't work. They were still there. So apparently that was not true. They had no problem landing in the grass. And the next thing that happened was they put these giant fake wolves outside. I don't know if they were used for target practice. They looked real, though. So if you looked from the windows, it looked like there were real coyotes or wolves outside. And people would call the school and say, you got a wild coyote outside. So they looked real enough, but they didn't scare the geese at first.
You would think people calling the school wild coyote outside, that's going to be as worse as it gets. But.
Right. So my students and I had front row seats because my windows overlooked the playground, so we could see all this in action. And you could see the geese were very scared at first, and they would, then you could see them checking them out, and then they just didn't care. They were just all over them. They were practically sitting on them and pooping on them, within a week. The next thing that happened was our resource officer, bless his heart, was outside shooting them with paintball guns, which is my kids thought there was an active shooter outside, it was horrible.
This is outside of school.
We were like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is during school hours.
During school hours,
they're shooting them with paintballs.
They're shooting paintballs at geese.
So that didn't go over very well.
You can imagine the calls that came in at that point to the school
Welcome
system.
to West Virginia. So that didn't go very well. The last thing was kind of traumatic, I think, for my students. They hired this group or something. I don't even know what they were. It was just a whole debacle outside. And there was a mom goose and a bunch of baby geese. And they came and they stole all the baby geese. And the mom was squawking at them and trying to fight them. And we were watching all this unfold. And so now you know what happens when you're a teacher and that you can get interrupted sometimes trying to teach because
it's not the classroom. That's the
But
problem.
anyway, those geese are probably still there to this day.
I'll guarantee it. Yep.
Pecking away, pooping so I do remember that.
Yeah.
No, I mean I enjoy my years as a teacher. I'm also glad to be working from home now. It's a very mentally draining job. And anyone that's still in education, still teaching, thank you. You are doing a great service. My family, my sister is a special ed teacher still. She's been for probably 16 or so years now. And my mom is about a year away from retiring from teaching high school English for several years. So what else we got, Paul?
I will get back to the questions, but we are arts and crafts thing here at the Krieger House. So you're going to put, those are stickies, and you're just going to stick one of those on top of the label.
Oh, you've already printed out all the names.
I've printed out most of the names until I ran out of labels. So the first wave of about 45 or so of these are going to go out tomorrow in the mail, and then I have to wait for more labels to come in the mail to print the remaining 30 or so. But,
all right.
but yes, it was very simple.
Very cool.
Once I figured it out. So
Oh, I just looked at this and I was like, hey, this guy lives real close to the office. And then that's the office
Oh,
address
there's
at the top.
one guy that
It's not. He lives in Georgia.
that lives in Wheeling.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And the name was really familiar.
Oh, I'm going to find it.
When we come to it, we'll segue into that. Elaine asked what contract would we sell. I think we're pretty sure that we would be selling our Boardwalk contract. We are not in love with the Boardwalk refurbishment that has occurred, and also it is a 2042 contract. So in thinking forward, not that I know where I'll be in 2042, I just like the idea of a contract that has a little bit longer life going on. Christine asked, are we excited for the Festival of the Arts? I think it's my favorite festival. 100% agree. It is one of our favorite festivals. It was actually our first festival that we ever went to. And we loved every second of it. So it has
and back then, it was only on the weekends.
Yeah, like for year one or something like that for Festival of the Arts, it was just weekends only and very limited offerings. But I say limited offerings, but I feel like it was still more than it is now. But I think it's like the festival that they are still going all out for, which is pretty cool. Like they're like the art elements that they bring in for the festival, all of that kind of stuff. You just don't see that at the other festivals. Like food and wine. What happened to food and wine and the food things that occurred and all of like the workshops that they had?
Oh yes, I know. That is sad.
They used to do that, I think, over in the Odyssey building, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and we wanted to do that special Chefs de France breakfast thing that they did. Like we were so excited to do the sign up for that finally, and then they never brought it back. So that's sad. But yes, and we do have some of our favorite art pieces from Festival of the Arts. That Steamboat Willie that we got from David Buckley.
We've bought 2 Buckleys from
the Wally.
Yeah.
That one was more recent. I don't think that was Festival of the Arts. But actually, he just posted they had a couple more of those left.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I just saw that. Well, I really so we get to see all your guys' addresses, and I'm like, ooh, Boston.
But yes, we love Festival of the Arts. We are going to be going here in the upcoming weeks. We're excited to explore all the foods. I think some of the best food of the year also is at Festival of the Arts. And here's the best part: it's actually cooler in Florida for Festival of the Arts.
So you're not melting.
So you're not melting, and you actually get to enjoy the weather, enjoy being outside at Epcot. And so,
Juneau, Alaska. Oh, that's Calvin. I know Calvin. We met them on the DVC
on the
cruise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeff said, I'm busy that day. No marathon for Jeffy. So, Jeff, sorry, but you do have the Princess Half Marathon coming up.
Wait. Is he saying he's busy on
the day of the marathon?
He doesn't even know what day it is. He's just making that up.
Oh. I agree with that. So Jeff,
but it would be fun if we could get him to sign up.
Jeff is doing the Princess Half Marathon here coming up in is it February? I don't know.
It's February.
It's in February. So get training, Jeff. But better than that, we are going with Jeff and his girlfriend Amy. We are going to the Billy Joel and Sting concert in Tampa the night before. So just put that in perspective. That concert probably won't get done till 11:30.
In Tampa.
We probably won't get out of the parking lot until 12:30. Or in Tampa, hour and a half drive. Jeff's not going to be sleeping that night, and he has to run a half marathon super early the next morning. So be thinking of Jeff.
And probably dehydrated, too.
Be thinking of Jeff on half marathon day if you're doing the Princess weekend. And if you see him kind of just looking sad and laying down, get him a bottle of water or a beer.
Or maybe pick him back up if
pick him back up if he falls over. Elaine said mad about plaid. That is correct. We are mad about the plaid at.
Oh, actually, that's like the one thing I like. But I just don't like the walls. The walls just look bad. You know that this is what it reminds me of. When I was in college, for 4 or 5 years, I worked for them after college a little bit too. But I worked for the housing maintenance department at my university, And so I worked there in the summers. I stayed in my dorm in the summer, and I also worked during the school year. But in the summers, we would remodel, redo dorm rooms. So we would go in and scrape and paint. And when I say remodel, I put it in like this because, you know, a cheap university, they don't like gut the place and refurbish it. You know what I mean? They scrape and repaint the doors, and they scrape and repaint the baseboards, and they, you know what I mean?
West Virginia.
Yeah. And so it looks better, but it's not a full on, you know, redoing walls or anything like that. All the infrastructure is the same. And one of the things I hated was that they always picked out what I think is like one of the worst colors in the world. It was called antique white. I think then they used what was called Dover white or antique white. And I just always thought they were very dingy looking colors. I mean, it's like that aged white where like in your grandparents' house where the walls used to be white, but I don't know, maybe they smoked for a couple of years. I don't know. And to me, that's what the walls of the Boardwalk look like. It looks like that old dingy white that we used to use in dorm rooms. And the doors and the baseboards and all that stuff has been reused, and the cabinets and they just like painted over it, and it just looks bad. And there were a lot of like paint runs. And I mean, I'm not an expert painter, but I'm a decent painter. You know, I painted with a brush for.
She's expert enough that she doesn't let me paint anything.
I don't, and
she refers to me as the slop train.
He is. He really is. And I can paint with a brush. I don't need to tape. I have a pretty good hand and eye for that sort of thing. And so I noticed like all these like little runs coming down the walls and down the doors and like paint on the handles of the cabinets and stuff. And I don't know, those little things kind of drive me nuts because it's poor craftsmanship. And so that's the thing that kind of, I shouldn't walk into the Boardwalk that was my favorite resort that I still love, and I still love the location and it's still worth it for many reasons. But I shouldn't be able to walk in there and feel like I'm in one of my old college dorm rooms. And that's kind of what I felt like. I don't know. Wheeling, West Virginia. I know this name. What?
Yep.
I'm going to take a picture of this one and look it up. Howard, if you're here, let us know.
Shout out to Howard.
I have questions for you.
Howard from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Right.
One of our Patreon members.
Right. I know that road. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But anyway, so that's why we would sell Boardwalk. And refurbishments change. Like in another 7 years, there'll be a soft goods and it'll change. We know that. But in 7 years, there's only going to be however many years left. So the length of deed is another consideration for us. But yeah.
Let's see what other questions we've got coming in here. I think have you gotten through all your labels?
Yeah, I'm really fast.
Yeah, you're getting through your labels. I'm almost done with mine. So I think we're almost done with Arts and Crafts Night with the Kriegers. Let's see.
But I have all these.
Yeah, well, we have more because I have to print more labels.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so there's that.
We'll still have another batch that'll have to go out after I.
Okay.
We're pretty close. Let's see.
So Lauren is running the half. She said she'll have to keep an eye out.
For Jeff.
Lauren will be no offense to Jeff, but I've seen Lauren's running times, and even like comparing them to us, like she'll be finished right around when Jeff starts, maybe like
Lauren was 8 or 9 months pregnant and still running
like
faster.
8-minute miles.
Still running faster than Amy and I.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Lauren, you are amazing.
She is so fast.
You are very fast.
It's just not even funny.
Let's see. Ken Franson, what are your thoughts on where the new DVC Lounge or community space will be opening in 2024? Ken, we made a rumor that we believe this space is coming to Disney Springs, and I would put money on that rumor at this point.
Yeah.
You know, that's been something we've been hearing about for quite some time now. We've not just heard this from one person or two people. This has been mentioned multiple times. So
there's multiple things that have happened in places that have closed, and you know what I mean. That kind of also points to that. Is that water? Can I have some of your water?
This is not water.
No, not that bad.
This is water for sure. I will point this out though. We were at Magic Kingdom, and I've been wanting to go there for a while now. But the glass store at the Magic Kingdom now has Disney Vacation Club member glasses. They also have annual pass glasses as well. So they make this size, they make like a regular drinking glass, and then they also make a wine glass.
Mm-hmm.
But super cool that it's got the Disney Vacation Club member logo on it. And you can get it customized if you want to put your name on it, maybe the year that you became a member. You can do that as well. We were in a hurry that day, but $14, I think, $14.50 after the DVC member discount. So definitely worth it.
Yeah, I thought they were a good price. The wine glass is a little bit more. I think it was like 16 or something, but still, no, they're really cool.
Yeah.
So definitely neat to have that merchandise, especially on Main Street.
That's been the most popular thing in the night. Corey, I need that liquid ice. Dushan, I apologize if I mispronounce that. Lauren, very cool. Corey, I'll send you the money.
Oh, Corey, that thing would be in shards by the time it got.
No, they packaged it very, very nice.
To ship it? Well, I guess you could ship glasses.
And I could ship it from Disney, so if they break it.
And
that's a hack that most people don't know about. Shipping things directly
it's not
from the stores.
Expensive.
It is not expensive. I think like $10 or less.
It was, yeah, I want to say it was $8. Our friend Jeff Gervasio, his mom shipped something. I can't remember what it was. I feel like it might have had glass in it. But anyway, it was only $8 to ship it. So, and we shipped that big bowl when we lived in West Virginia, that big home bowl. And it's big. It's like our vegetable, like our onions sit in it on our counter. And it was only $7 then to ship. So yeah, definitely consider shipping things home. I think the price is very reasonable.
Dushan said the 3-bedroom villas at Boardwalk came out pretty good, definitely better than the old design and new remodel. I've not necessarily seen, I saw a couple pictures, I think, within the group. There's definitely more color and character in a 3-bedroom.
I guess they have more room.
But also you kind of expect it because of what you're paying at that point. But good to know. I don't have the points for a Grand Villa, so Dushan, if you're having a 3-bedroom Grand Villa party, just tell us where to show up. We'll bring some pizza and beer and have a good time.
We're lucky we can get the 2-bedroom by sharing it with someone.
Yeah, so.
We're also cheap because that would be like a whole year's worth of points.
I do want to. This has been in my head for some time, and I do want to make this happen. Either a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom Grand Villa one night, and have a live stream of the DVC show. So bring in Panda, bring in Jeff, bring in Derek, bring in actually any moderators that might be around, or anyone that's around that can kind of come in that night and just spend some time in a Grand Villa with us and kind of have fun, film a couple different episodes of the DVC show. And logistically, that sounds like a nightmare in my head, but overall, it sounds a lot of fun. So I definitely kind of want to hopefully plan that for this new year. This year will be 6 years of DVC fan, I think, coming up in March. So
oh, wow, yeah.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I always equate things.
We're so old.
Let me know if you do this. I always equate things in frames of high school. So like I think high school was 4 years. If it's longer than that, wow, high school felt like forever. And then like I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Yeah, so. I don't think about it like that.
Jay Ware, you think they're really going to take some of the new Poly Tower rooms for the Trust? I have my doubts. Honestly, I'm 50-50 on the intent of the Trust at this point. I think they've written it in a way that they're going to pull future properties into it, and this plan of having multiple resorts have like a mega priority window or a mega home resort priority option, I think that's going to happen eventually. The question with the Poly is going to be whether or not they kind of split the points that they declare. And so do they declare a bucket of the points as just regular points and sell them as a home resort? Do they declare some to the Trust? Do they declare everything to the Trust? How does all of that sort of shake out? Your guess is as good as mine at this point, but what we do know for certain is that it is going to be a part of the existing Poly Association, which is big news, good news for all the current members out there. because it really helps with the issues that have been created by the bungalows. Really just gives those options to poly owners too, of some one bedrooms, some two bedrooms. It does look like there's going to be like a duo studio or a tower studio type product over there as well. They're moving very quickly, but my guess right now is that this is going to be pushed until early 2025. I actually have an article that needs to go up on DVC Fan. Hopefully went up by the time. If future Paul, if you're editing this show, make sure you write that article. But we did see Disney release their 2024 news, and the poly was not mentioned at all. So I think that's kind of writing that it's slowly kind of getting pushed into that 2025.
And it might be they're still trying to work out the legalities of the association and everything.
I think that's a big issue right now. I think they're so we know that some of the early filings that they did were incorrect, and so they're kind of fixing some of that now, because this is the first time DVC's really delved into the water of a trust in terms of how the points are held. So they're trying to make sure that they do it right and legally correct. And so there's been some filings, there's been some refilings, and so I think we'll continue to see that here, and it'll be interesting to see if that has any potential delay on the actual sale date of Fort Wilderness and the cabins. Because
when you said sale date, I was like, SAIL, sail, like a ship? I wasn't thinking SALE. My brain is somewhere else.
Your brain is on the icon of the seas right now. But I think that my thought all along was, here at the end of January, current incentives are expiring for direct incentives. And I kind of expected that the cabins were going to be ready to go on sale at that point. We probably hear January, February, March. It's got to happen sometime in these next couple months to align with the summer opening. So I kind of expected it to happen at the end of January. We'll see. Maybe they're still in a position to do so, but they've got a lot of work to do here in a couple of weeks.
But at least when those go on sale, we'll know more about how they intend for the trust to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as of right now, the cabins are the only thing that have been declared in a trust. Yeah. Nothing else. Nothing related to poly or anything. And so
I don't think we'll hear anything different necessarily when they go on sale, because it is the only thing in the trust product right now.
So they can just sell it.
They'll just sell it.
The language will
is,
say,
and the language will be what it is, and it'll give them opportunities for the future. But but I question whether or not they actually
make any kind of deal out of it.
Any details as to what's going on. So Dennis said they didn't have the wine glasses last time. They did have the wine glasses when we were there over Marathon Weekend here in early January. So. They had all three glasses available. I think if you don't see necessarily what they have, that they can still make that design. It just may take a little bit longer for them to actually etch that with their machine and everything like that. Jay Ware said we need studios or a Magic Kingdom lounge. I agree. I think other parks lounges would be great. The reason I don't think that they'll do this is actually because it competes with the Club 33 product a little bit. And that's kind of a.
Not that we're really. I don't think I don't think DVC members are necessarily potential Club 33 customers unless we get the lottery.
It's true, but
very few.
When you do, like, if people out there that maybe are members,
why would I buy Club 33 when I can just buy DVC for cheaper and have a lounge?
Yeah, it does just kind of raise the question a little bit, and I know that's been a motivating factor for actually why a lot of people buy Club 33 is because of those lounge options at the various parks and because of the amenities that they provide. Also, if you are someone that does a country club membership, when you start to compare everything that you get in a Club 33 membership, the math checks out. Like you could make sense of the math depending on the size of your family. And so that's one of the only reasons why I question whether or not we'll actually see that. But I am just randomly giving you guesses at this point. It's just the inside of Paul's head at 8:00 p.m. On a Thursday night. So let's see. Oh, experience with this. You can even ship popcorn buckets.
If you, I don't know if I should rip on Ryan or not. If you correctly,
was it Ryan? Or was it the cast member?
I don't know, Ryan. I don't know if it was your writing that was too sloppy or the cast member misread it. But yeah, so Ryan, early on, so generously helped us get the electric Main Street Electrical Parade popcorn buckets that were at Disneyland. I wanted them so bad. Paul wanted them. Oh, here they are. And he was going to be in Disneyland well before us, and we were worried that they would be out of stock. So there's Elliot the dragon. And does this thing have a name?
Probably.
I don't know. The dragon's Elliot because it's from Pete's Dragon. But anyway, so very thankful that Ryan helped us out with that. He shipped them from the Grand Californian gift shop. And
Elliot's tail fell off.
Elliot's tail fell off. And there was some kind of miscommunication on what the address was, and I don't know if the cast member wrote it down wrong or got confused, and so they ended up getting sent back to Disneyland, and it took several phone calls, but I was able to get them rerouted back to me. And I gave them multiple things. I said, you could just hold them for like a week. It was like another week or so, and we were going to be there. But no, they sent them to us, so that was nice.
Ryan blames his handwriting.
I kind of thought, but I didn't want to be like, well, it is what it is. But it was so funny. But we got them, and so glad for that.
So let's see. What other questions do we got here? I've got to pack some of these things in a box in a second.
The TV comment made me laugh, Dennis.
I want to go back. Okay, shipping is awesome. Yes.
$12 to ship a lounge fly.
Party in the Grand Ville. Let's do it for sure. Sleepover. We can do each other's hair and stuff. That's Jeff Haslam, of course. Corey, I call top bunk. 6 years. Wow, and you keep getting better. Oh, Christine, thank you so much for the kind words. That is very sweet. Let's see. If they split the Poly Tower partially with the trust, partially with the condo association, it might explain why they said for now the plan is for the Poly Tower to be part of the existing association. I do agree with that, Ryan. That's the only thing that does kind of clarify some of that language, although I don't necessarily give them credit to speaking that precisely on that subject, because I don't actually think they were expecting. I think they wanted to give the answer to that question, but I'm not sure they gave the answer to the question the way they wanted to. Obviously, it lacked some clarity, and we had to get some clarification after the fact on that. Let's see. Dennis said, my partner just walked in and said, oh, Paul and Amy on the TV, big surprise. Clearly, I watch a lot. Dennis, thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Vocal Jazz fan. Favorite thing to ship? Lightsabers.
Oh, yeah. Do they ship them in giant long boxes? Or I guess, do they fold up?
They don't fold up. No.
Yeah, okay. No. Oh, I don't know if it's
only one was ever made that way, and Josh Tomorrow has it somewhere. And it's only worked, I think, 2 or 3 times. But let's see. Corey says, my theory is the trust is going to be part of a moderate category where deeded can book in the trust resort collection, but trust cannot book in the deeded deluxe resort collection. Ooh. Does that mean that DVC's come into Coronado Springs? That's the only thing
I would buy that if it was bundled with the.
That's the only thing that I think of when I read this. And also Ryan Chung wrote a wonderful article over on DVC Fan, I think kind of alluding to the same here when it comes to kind of a moderate category.
Good thoughts there.
Jeff Haslam, Club 33, alcohol and full menu, DVC Lounge, an Oreo, and a shot of Diet Coke.
You do have to pay for anything on the menu at Club 33, and the Oreo and Coke is free at the DVC Lounge. So
shot down, Jeff. Blade McMahon, buy the lightsaber, shipped. Am I giving DVC too much credit for actually planning things out? Yes, you are. I do believe that a lot is flying by the seat of your pants from a 1 to 2 year period when it comes to management. I think I've said that on several shows recently.
Yes.
But yeah. What else do we have going on this year coming up that's exciting? We talked about our cruises.
I feel like
we are considering a Disneyland trip, but that is very early in the planning process.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So we are we are being peer pressured by Dan and Jeff into potentially the Disneyland Halloween Run Disney weekend. And so it does kind of align with our schedule. We potentially could do it. I've got some Southwest points and we have some Marriott points that we could potentially make it work. It's just whether or not we actually want to do it. Arthur said yay, so now we have to go see Arthur.
Oh, I love Arthur and Lena. I do really want to run. Do you get the coast to coast medal if you run the Disneyland Halloween half? Oh my gosh, that makes it really hard to say no. I want that medal so bad.
It's not this year's medal. That would be, I think, next year's medal.
Oh, does anybody know the answer to that? You run Disney people? But anyway, even just any coast to coast medal. Jeff Haslam said, I'm inviting myself on that trip. I'm having serious Disneyland withdrawals. Jeff Haslam, that is fine. The stipulation is that you have to sign up and do
That's another half marathon, Jeff. That's another half marathon.
There are two different coast to coast medals. Elaine, you're right. I saw the square one and the round one. Do you know which one, if we ran the Halloween, that we would get with the square or the round? I like them both, so it doesn't really matter. Let's do Disneyland Alani trip. I need more PTO, Corey. One is specifically just for January races. Okay. Got it. I think that might be the round one that's for the January ones. But yeah, I would love to go do that half. The thing is that I feel like it's going to be really hard to get into. And then just like figuring out, the logistics and everything. What do we have booked? Oh, we have Hilton Head booked. That's also very exciting. We're going to go in February. I know it's going to be cold. We're mostly going because we just want to experience the resort, walk along the beach. We've never done Hilton Head. It's actually the last DVC property we've never stayed in. Paul's like packing up the mailers. It's the last DVC property that we've never done. So once we do Hilton Head next month at the beginning of February, we will officially have stayed at every single DVC resort there is. And so that's really kind of exciting. I'd finally earned those DVC badges that I made a long time ago.
We still need to put that in the merch store.
I know, we should. We should make them as real badges. So that would be cool. So we've got Hilton Head coming up in February. That's just a short little weekend trip. We're going to drive there. Let's see what else we got going on here. I feel like in terms of DVC, the thing is that last year we did a lot of things kind of last minute. We ended up going to Vero Beach kind of last minute. We weren't expecting it. We ended up doing that. So we're kind of living the local life now where we do plan ahead for some things, but we also don't plan ahead for other things. Someone said they were going to the Halloween party, going to see Wondrous Journey. I was trying to get into our DVC account because I just wanted to see what we had scheduled. I feel like we have a bunch of Boardwalk reservations.
I'll pull it up.
Because we wanted to...
We still do have a bunch of Boardwalk reservations trying to plan around the refurbishment. We do still want to see a 1-bedroom.
Right.
And film that and maybe do a grand villa. But they are running a little bit behind over there. So right now you're in that period in the Boardwalk booking time frame where we've heard of a lot of people getting moved also to the inside of the resort. So people getting emails that say, hey, I've been moved for X,
yeah,
Y,
and if that happens to us, we're canceling.
Yeah.
Give us our points back.
It just kind of puts us in that situation where you're kind of in that gamble zone of when are they going to be finished.
Right. So that's in March 9th, 2-bedroom. We have a 2-bedroom lock off. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We've also got the Kidani booked for the Wine and Dine weekend.
Kidani booked for Wine and Dine weekend.
And a couple of Moonlight Magics we're hoping to go to, but that's about it. Really, we didn't book our birthday weekends or anything like we usually do.
We didn't. We could still. We do have kind of your birthday booked because I believe that's a Moonlight Magic.
That's right.
So the 20s, yeah.
Mm-hmm, the Polynesian we have booked on the 27th. The 28th is my birthday in August.
That's a Moonlight Magic night. My birthday is like right after we get off the Icon.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You get a cruise for your birthday.
yeah, I get a cruise. Yay. Amy always, you always used to say, and I remember, I think it was, did we get to go to Disneyland or were we at Disney World?
Mm-hmm.
Was
Disneyland.
Was it Disneyland?
Yeah, not this past birthday, but 2022. My 2022 birthday.
Amy, when she was teaching, always used to say, I wish I didn't have to teach for my birthday. Because basically school would restart and then Amy's birthday would be.
And then also, because it was the beginning of the school year, my birthday most every year would fall on our back to school night. So I would be at school literally from 7 a.m. until 8 something p.m. on my birthday several years in a row. So I was like, someday I just want to be able to do something fun for my birthday. And I could never do anything fun. Like, we couldn't travel because it's the beginning of the school year. You can't take off the beginning of the school year. So finally, it was 2 years ago now, I feel like, or last year. It was last year or 2022, August 2022. We spent Disneyland at my birthday. So, or my birthday at Disneyland. I said that backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a milestone in my life.
Deshaun said, Disneyland party, we're going for Halloween, which just made me think, related to parties. We put this in our Patreon community, kind of a feeler about this, of doing kind of some meetups around Moonlight Magic. So we are probably going to act on that. So probably letting people know that we'll be at X, Y, or Z Lounge or this place in Disney Springs, maybe a little bit prior to Moonlight Magic on those select nights that they are, or potentially earlier in that afternoon. It's hard doing this kind of stuff because Disney does have very strict rules on meetups related to being in the parks. Essentially what Disney is worried about is, if you do a meetup in a park, they think that it could potentially confuse other guests,
like
thinking
forming
that
a
it's
line.
forming a line for a character meetup or something like that. So they very much discourage this, and so we do want to follow their policies in that regard. So what we think we're going to do is we'll put in our Patreon group, kind of just let people know where we're going to be before a Moonlight Magic event, and then if you guys are available and want to drop by, say hi, maybe grab a drink or something, and just spend a little bit of time chatting DVC before we head to Moonlight Magic, then we'll definitely do that. So if you guys are watching this and you're not Patreon members already, then you need to join just for that benefit. Patreon.com/DVC fan. We do have a lot of cool things coming to Patreon in the near future. One thing we are working on right now is a Discord community. So we do want to provide another kind of area for you to chat about everything DVC. And so we're kind of working and building that out at the moment. So that'll be coming very soon. We're excited. We've got some other video content coming up soon from our Christmas trip on the Disney Wish. So that'll be coming. And we kind of just have a lot of other small little ideas planned for everything. And then also just getting into more DVC rooms as they get refurbished. Maybe expanding our horizons more. We've done basically, I think, all the studios at this point on property.
Yeah, we
and
have.
So outside of
a couple one bedrooms. I mean, we've done some one bedrooms.
Outside of refurbishments, we're kind of this year focusing a little bit more on maybe 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and the occasional grand villa to ensure that we can kind of share those things with you. Luckily, our amazing sponsors over at the World of DVC will be helping us with that, because we don't have those kind of points. Kriegers do not have those. We are studio people.
Studio dwellers.
Let's see what else we've got here in terms of comments. Brian said, yay, we're going to have to celebrate Amy's birthday at Animal Kingdom Moonlight Magic. Yes, we are. We're going to have to go all out with hats and cakes and all kinds of stuff.
Except that's February 27th, and August 27th is Hollywood Studios.
August 27th is Hollywood Studios?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wait, scroll down a little bit more.
Well, I don't know.
I think he corrects himself.
Oh, he corrected himself. Look at that. Hollywood Studios. Jack Cookie Num Nums.
Oh, okay. Scroll back up for a second. I feel like we missed. Don't forget to book your crazy weekend. Someday we're going to Holiday World.
Elaine
Yeah.
Elaine lives in Indiana and really wants us to go to Hollywood World to come visit.
Holiday World.
What did I say?
Hollywood.
I'm still thinking Hollywood Studios.
Where they have a
Um,
coaster shaped like a gravy boat, right? Isn't
They
it?
have
The gravy train or
coaster.
something?
It is, yes. And they just IATA this year, or IAPA, whatever it's called. They revealed the coaster, and it is shaped like a gravy boat. And the coaster actually goes through a can of cranberry sauce at some point during.
I totally want to go.
The whole
Okay.
thought of Holiday World just blows my mind, and so we do need to plan our Holiday World weekend with Elaine. So
Wait, go back up. Christine, where on property would you want to go for your birthday dinner? So last year for Paul's birthday, we did Narcoossee's, and it was excellent. And I chose Ohana for mine, which I'm a lot more basic than like I like signature restaurants, but when it comes to like it's my birthday, I just want to eat a lot of noodles or something like that. And actually, it was really good on my birthday. I don't know what I would do this year. I kind of want to go back to Rosa Mexicana in
yeah, that was very good.
in the
We went there for my birthday
was it
too.
the Swan or Dolphin? It's in the Dolphin, I think. Yeah, we went there before your birthday too, and so that was very good. That's high on my list. There's
two on our list right now that we've not been to. We still
Oh.
need to get to Summer House.
Yes.
And then we need to get to eat.
I do want to go. I want to go both those places. Yeah.
Both at Disney Springs. So
Yeah.
One of those options might be our meetup before the first Moonlight Magic, just so that we can go.
But yeah, Bagel Jazz fan girl, September 9th, birthday for the teacher. I feel ya. Yes, you do. That's beginning of
That's
school year
rough.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Just
it.
sitting in the classroom. I think that's gonna do it for us for this this packing Q&A. Thank you all for kind of joining in and chatting with us. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for all you do to kind of support us and support what we've been doing with DVC Fan. We couldn't do it without you, and we're so excited for the future and the other content that we can continue to bring you on this platform and beyond. But if you are not a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/DVC fan. So you're probably watching this maybe a week or two later after we live streamed it. But hope you enjoyed the conversation and some of the questions that we answered, and watching us put labels on envelopes and send our Patreon members some amazing gifts. So that's gonna do it. Anything else?
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go to bed. I gotta say one more thing. I feel like we've been so busy the last couple of months. I am so excited that we have nothing to do this weekend.
We do. Yep.
Except maybe like some laundry. But I'm looking forward to that.
I probably
so
have to
much.
cut the grass, and I probably have to wash the car, but
I just want to be home. I'm
home.
just so excited to be home.
Home with the dogs.
And
the dogs are happy we're home too. It was a whirlwind of a couple months for the holiday season, and just emotional up and downs for a variety of reasons from November and beyond. But I think our lives are kind of settling back down, and we're excited for the new year, and excited for just a couple weeks of rest and recovery here before we start it all up again and start running all over the world and sharing it with you all. So as always, if you are watching this video, I did want to point this out. I noticed on one of our recent videos that it said that 45% of you were subscribed to the DVC Fan YouTube channel, and 55% of you were not subscribed.
I saw that too. I was looking at the analytics.
If you are in the 55%, why are you not subscribed? You watched the entire video based off of what I can see from the analytics. You watched most of it, so you like what we're doing. So hit the subscribe button. Subscribe so that you can see all of our future content. Also, hit the notification bell so you get that wonderful notification ding whenever we post a new video.
I don't know that I would do like notifications, but definitely subscribe.
That was great. I don't know what else to say. Subscribe, please. We need your support. We love you. But that's going to do it for tonight for this live stream. Again, thank you to our Patreon supporters, and we will see you all with the next episode of the DVC show and our next live stream or video or whatever kind of content we decide to throw out there. But that's it for tonight, and we'll see you guys soon.